going. We are ready. We are locked and loaded here. Let's get started. So we are going to just go through some things here that I specialize in, and they're also just things that you will commonly hear in marketing. That way, whenever it comes time for you to have the conversation with your either digital marketing agency or your consultant, or maybe your just internal team for marketing, you can have these terms in your back pocket, or you can also have a better understanding of what these mean if you're getting sold. So the purpose of this webinar is I want to give you guys some really great tips and tricks on how you can quickly get your business or brand found through Google. And with that, let's get into it. So on the agenda, I wanted to talk about, BR consulting, frequently used terms, get you guys acquainted with Google and all of the free tools and products and services that it has to offer. And then I want to walk you through how to claim your listing for not only Google, but for Yahoo and Bing as well. And then at the very end of this, I want to give you guys some really, really good information. So I saved the directories and backlinks for those of you who are hopping in at the end and really want to know how to get your presence ramped up on Google and all search. So, I should go back. Probably should have a slide for this, but I don't. So BR Consulting, this is my consulting LLC. The way that this happened was I went to FAU for 4 years. I studied business. And during my time there, I really got excited and involved with not only just marketing, but particularly digital marketing. Now, of course, like any young and excited student / marketer, a lot of my thinking about marketing was in social media. And I was very excited and very eager to learn about all the ins and outs and how all this traffic comes about through just social media. But then as I got to learning more and I got more and more involved, I quickly realized that this is just a small piece of the marketing puzzle. And a lot of people put too much emphasis on this small part. So many months go by, I'm learning, and I'm actually doing the work on the back end of the internet. And I have all this newfound knowledge. And not only do I know more about social media, but now I get the whole scale and picture of what all it takes to get traffic to a website, to a business, and ultimately convert people into customers or clients for you. And so what I wanted to do with these skills was be able to pass them along to people and help them in growing their business. And what inspired this was my work in digital marketing has been fantastic, and I haven't had any complaints thus far, other than the fact that so many clients are coming to us and saying, I've tried this, I've done that, I've been through this. And it's almost as if digital marketing has this negative appearance to it due to so many people trying it and attempting it with third-party vendors. So BR Consulting, it was born based on the connections that I had made through school with business owners and different clubs and organizations that I'm involved in, helping those people out with their online presence and actually getting them results. I'm a results-based marketer, and that's the reason that I really got into digital marketing. Was I want to see people's faces get so excited and smile from ear to ear whenever they get great results from their online efforts. So that's kind of what BR Consulting is. I work at a digital marketing agency, so I don't go after any clients that could possibly be clients for the agency that I'm employed by. I do photography and videography through drone and Google 360 images. However, my main focus is to ultimately just help any localized businesses that I can with their online efforts. So with all that, let's get into it. So I wanted to go over some terms that I hear all the time in digital marketing. And to me, when I first started, I was like, wow, this is a lot. This is very technical. And it was a lot to take in. So I know to the average person who is looking to find marketing services, it can also be a lot. And whenever you don't understand something, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. And that doesn't do anything for anyone involved. Number one, you're not learning anything, and you're not interested in the sale, and you don't know how to tell if it's a good deal or not to be sold. So the one word that gets thrown around more than any other word in marketing has got to be this phrase right here, content. So content is a great word to get thrown around because it can quite literally be anything. Content can be in the form of a picture, a video, or written in a blog, in a social media post. Anything that is helping to portray your service or product is content. Another word that gets tossed around all the time is search engine optimization, also known as SEO. A lot of people, whenever they get into marketing, they learn this term extremely quickly. But it's such a broad term, there's no endpoint to this service. So search engine optimization is writing content, typically written out content, that is easily read by Google. And then once Google reads it, it takes that written content and says, okay, this person provides this service or sells this product. And then Google knows that it needs to serve that page whenever people are searching for said service or product. So ultimately, the more written content you have about what you do as a business, the better chance you have of ranking for this through SEO. So say you're in a market where there's tons of competitors and there's tons of written content out there. How are you going to start? How are you going to get ranking quickly? That's when pay-per-click comes in. Pay-per-click is a form of paid online advertising. And you can run pay-per-click on a plethora of different search engines. You can run it on Yahoo, you can run it on Bing, you can run it on Google. And then even further into that, you can run pay-per-click on many other platforms aside from just the different searches. You can run it on Facebook. You can run it on Instagram, which is also Facebook. You can run it on Snapchat, YouTube. All these different platforms wherever there's eyes and a lot of traffic, more times than not, you'll be able to serve ads and run pay-per-click advertising. Number 4, this is what we're going to be going over here at the end of the webinar, so I highly suggest you to buckle in and stay tuned. This is going to be a quick webinar, hoping to get it done within 30 to 45 minutes and tons of good insights. A directory and a backlink are two different things, but they work kind of in the same way. A directory is anywhere where you can have your name, address, phone number listed. So an example of a directory that everyone should be well versed with is Yelp. Now, an example of a backlink would be any article that is written that has an attached piece of content that doesn't necessarily have to show a URL like a www dot. It can be a sequence of words that you can click on that takes you to another page. And that page would ultimately be a page of your website. And that would be a backlink. So some other things that we have in here that marketers kind of can get carried on about and can just be way too much for the everyday guy looking to do some marketing, or girl doing some marketing. Machine learning, this is how the internet, Google, is learning whenever we put in our searches. So Google is getting smarter based on how people are inputting what they're trying to find and if they find what they are in fact searching for. Another big fancy word, algorithm. This is defined as a process of rules to be followed in calculations or other problems. This solves operations. So this is this goes into the machine learning because this is what drives the machine in picking what parts to take from where in the search and other things. Like I said, it's all very complicated. Just kind of wanted to familiarize you guys with these words, that way you know. And if you wanted to, you can do your due diligence and further research. And the last word, optimization. So this is kind of like content in marketing. You're always going to need content. And the truth of the matter is you're always going to need optimization. These platforms and these things that we're going in and doing on the back end of the internet, they're always updating. They're always changing. And therefore, you need to have something or someone in place to go in there and optimize these. So all these things are meant to be driving you traffic. And Google has tons of free tools out there that can help you in getting traffic to your website. And all of these are tools that you may or may not need, but are available to you. So these are the main tools that are the most important whenever you're starting out with any online marketing. So Google Analytics, you're going to want to attach this to your website, because what this is going to do is provide you with data that tells you a bunch of stuff, but primarily if people are getting to your website, how long they're staying there, what parts of your website they're visiting, at what point do they leave the website. All sorts of different data can be seen through Google Analytics. And this is an extremely important part for not only tracking people coming to your website, but for also having the data in the future to see what changes you can make. Another thing that we've already talked about here, pay-per-click. So you run pay-per-click advertising for Google through Google Ads, formerly known as AdSense. And through this platform, you're able to custom create ads and decide where you want them to be seen and what platforms and in what positions on certain websites and searches. And last but not least, Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is more for web development purposes, but with this tool, you will also be able to see some things that you'll see in Google Analytics, but your tracking and the depth of data that you're able to access is much more deeper and much more rich. So this is highly important as well. So, as promised, this webinar is the guide to getting found on Google. And the biggest tip that I can give you guys from this webinar is to get listed and verified on these 3 search platforms. So in marketing, we call these the big 3: Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Now, Google is by far the biggest one. And as you'll see from the note at the bottom, 70% of the searches are coming through Google. Now, this does not mean we should just write off Yahoo and Bing, because there is still 30% of traffic, which doesn't sound that exciting. But if we're doing pay-per-click advertising, the traffic on these other platforms is extremely cheaper in comparison. So how are we going to move forward in doing this? So the most important one, and what I wanted to host this webinar on, is called Google My Business. And this is something that we at BR Consulting specialize in. And that is helping local medium to small size businesses find their customers and having their customers find them. So what does a Google My Business look like in play? For the record, I made this presentation while I was at my agency. I did this to further explain to my boss the purpose and the role of Google My Business. So I just thought, why not use it for my webinar? This is the agency. You Google it, and here on the right-hand side, you'll see in the SERP, which stands for Search Engine Results Page, the listing. And this listing has a plethora of information. Now, what is so great about Google My Business? Well, if we go back here, you will see the difference. If I'm looking for a brand here, which I typed in 10 Golden Rules, which is the exact name of the brand, I see all this stuff related to the brand. And if I look for a service that maybe this brand does, which in this case is digital marketing, I see a different display in the SERP. And what I'm seeing is this huge map. And what we like to call this is the map pack. And this is amazing because it takes up 70% of the SERP. So whenever I'm on my mobile phone, for example, I'm going to see a few ads, and then for the majority of my screen, it's going to be all of these listings within the map pack. So this is extremely important for getting found right away. And a fun stat is 65% of people click or select one of the first 4 listings from the map pack to either give their business or give a call to a business. So this truly is the secret to getting found on Google. So what all can we do with Google My Business? So some of the things that we must be doing is getting reviews. We encourage all of our clients and customers to get reviews. This is single-handedly the most important thing that you can do for the Google My Business. The second most important thing that you can be doing is asking and answering questions. So that sounds great. What do I do now that I have these reviews coming in? What do I do now that the questions are coming in? Well, you want to respond. If someone says something great about you, you're not just going to leave them alone. I would hope not. I would hope you would say, wow, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And let them know that that really did mean a lot to you or your business. And the same thing with questions. If it's a really good question that could make a difference to your business, why would you not answer it? Don't just leave things unread and unattended, especially not with your online presence. Another great feature about Google My Business is the ability to make social posts. So here you can see we are able to make a small little post about some upcoming technology that may be releasing. And this displays here at the bottom and also allows us an extended view on the SERP. So how do we know we've come to the right place? Well, this is what Google My Business backend looks like. And we see a lot of tabs, a lot of information, and it can be overwhelming. And this is why I'm here. BR Consulting, we specialize in optimizing this and getting our clients into that map pack. So here you can see some analytics that Google My Business provides right here on the front end, showcasing search views, maps views, searches, and activity. Now, each one of these breaks out into more analytics if you click on each tab. For example, views, searches, activity. And there's even more insights if you dive in to the Insights tab on the left-hand side. Now, this tab, the Info tab, is where you're going to be spending primarily all of your time on the back end of Google My Business. And in here you can see even more information at which you can input your address, your service area, hours of operation, any special dates you may be open or closed, your website, as well as if you have multiple locations, your store code, any labels associated, and most importantly, your categories. Here you'll see you'll want your business name. And now this should be consistent with whatever your business name is on all of your paperwork. This is the most important, categories. There's over 5,000 different categories, so you'll want to be sure to do your research for this. Your address. Very important. You want this to be consistent. Consistent on all of your directories, consistent on all of your listings. Now this is the secret sauce if your building is a shared office space or hosts multiple suites with different businesses. You can locate yourself within the larger entity, and I can teach you how to do this. All you need to do is just drop me a question, ping me, whatever it may be, I can help you out. Go to any of BR Consulting online assets. Your service area. So this is any zip codes, any cities. It is what it says it is. Any area that you service. Like I said, you can add in any special holidays or hours that you may be open or closed, as well as your normal operating business hours. And here you want to be able to add up to 3 phone numbers. You want to have your main phone number primary, as well as any additional 800 numbers or any other contact methods that people may be able to reach out to. And of course, you're going to want to add your website. And if you have a special URL to get booked or to be reached at, you can also include that separately. And last but not least, directories and backlinks. I kind of went over this at the beginning, but what I'm going to do for you guys that made it through this webinar, if you just message me or leave a Q&A, I can give you a free top 10 directory checklist on where you should be putting your focus at starting this project out. Because there's tons of directories out there and tons of services that say they will help you. But as soon as they help you, they may revert the changes after you stop paying. So what I would love to do is give you guys a free checklist on the top 10 directories that you should be working to optimize straight away. And that concludes my webinar, and I really do appreciate you guys coming in, checking me out, and ultimately, tuning in to BR Consulting. So I plan on doing these meetings at least once a month, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys on the other side of your online presence. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.